iSARMs.com, the #1 place to learn about SARMs online.
Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. Today's video I am going to get into the topic of clenbuterol, but I'm going to talk more about the dangers of clenbuterol, give you a little bit of background on it, and give you my opinion on it, how I feel about it, etc. So let's just get right down to it. It's not an actual steroid, although it's grouped with steroids. Clenbuterol is not an anabolic androgenic steroid. It's really popular. It's used as a fat loss agent, as most of you already know. It's one of the most controversial drugs that you can actually find in bodybuilding. It's got a lot of different types of rumors, myths, etc. But the facts don't lie, and the facts are there, and all of the things that I'm about to tell you are all backed up tremendously. Some are going to tell you that it's very safe and beneficial, and some are going to tell you that it's just one of the most hellacious and dangerous things on the planet. I'd say it lies somewhere in between, but I definitely don't agree one iota that it's safe in any way. Not even close. And I don't ever want to hear that. And I don't care what anybody says. You can write to me whatever you want. You can blast whatever you want. It's not safe. And I don't care what you say. It's far from it. Not even close. Nothing I would ever touch, go near, nor recommend to anybody, if that tells you anything. And, you know, I'm all about getting everything you can out of everything, but in the safest possible way. And this is not even close to that. I'm going to lay it down, and you know, I'm just going to tell you how I feel, and I'm going to give you the facts, and then it's up to you to kind of roll with it from there. Most drugs that are used by bodybuilders were initially developed for medical use and purposes. Clenbuterol was actually done just like that. It was developed for medical uses. It was used as a like a bronchodilator. That is, you know, what it was basically a remedy for asthma. You know, it's shown to be effective in treatments of like hypertension, cardiovascular shock, migraine, headaches. It's not approved by the FDA, not one iota. And there's alternative treatments like albuterol that are applied for the same diseases that are mentioned. The fat burning properties of clenbuterol have made it a widely used drug for cattle, where it's helped to maintain lean mass in these types of animals, and it gives for an improved quality of meat. But there were several cases of food poisoning that were out there rampant when people ate meat of animals, okay, that were actually administered with clenbuterol. So this is not going on anymore. Trust me, it's prohibited in most countries everywhere. Most of the times you're going to get clenbuterol in tablet form. That's generally how it's going to come. It comes in other ways. I've seen it in research chemicals, etc., but generally it's going to come like a tablet. How does it actually work? How does clenbuterol work? Well, it acts as an agonist of the beta-2 receptor with a very, very mild impact on your beta-1 receptor. Since the activation of this is very, very intense, these particular receptors cause breakdowns of your triglycerides into free fatty acids. So that's what makes clenbuterol extremely effective as a fat burner. But there's one thing that you got to keep in mind. Clenbuterol does break down the fat, and it frees up the free fatty acids into the bloodstream, okay? So your fat's becoming the primary energy resource. But if these fatty acids are not employed, they're actually going to convert back into triglycerides, and that all the burnt fat can return. So it's mandatory to keep a clean diet and exercise throughout. You can't just use this, lose 20 pounds and just be okay and think you're going to keep it. It'll come right back, and not only will it come back, you're going to probably add more. You're going to be worse off than you were before. So just keep that in mind when using it, and don't think that you're going to just take it and some magic's going to happen and you're going to start losing weight and it's going to stay off, because it's not at all. In fact, it's going to be the complete adverse, like I said. So let's talk about the side effects now, which was the main point of the video. There's a price to pay when using clenbuterol. It's not suppressive, and it doesn't convert to estrogen like, you know, some anabolics do, but there's a lot of negative effects that come with it. And, you know, there's things that you are aware of that come with the stimulant when you use it, okay? And it must be kept in mind. Most of them stop occurring as the body gets used to the compound during the cycle, the shakes, the tremors, that type of thing. But some individuals are a lot more sensitive to these side effects than others, okay? and they can be divided. I like to divide them into 3 groups. That would be like the physiological, psychological, and the rare side effects that are related to high doses of clenbuterol. Okay, so then that asks the question, what are the frequently encountered side effects that are associated with clenbuterol? Well, hand shaking is one. You're going to notice a lot of this going on. You're going to see shakes throughout your body. It's been the most pronounced side effect with clenbuterol use. And insomnia is another one, which is quite common with these type of drugs. Insomnia, excessive sweating is going to occur, and that's going to be related to the temperature increases that your body is going through, because your body temperature will increase. It's not life-threatening, but it's definitely uncomfortable. Increased blood pressure is a severe one that I do not even like to get into because it's so dangerous, but that's something that's going to happen. It actually, when clenbuterol is being used, it causes the high blood pressure to get to insurmountable amounts. Okay, it's not a good thing. And those that have a history of high blood pressure should just avoid this at all costs. It can also cause muscle cramps. This is a well-known side effect, and they can be quite severe muscle cramps. What I would recommend is a lot of taurine, a lot of potassium, and that's going to help to kind of control it, give you a temporary sense of relief. Interestingly enough, it's not just the physical problems, the psychological problems. Okay, so this drug can actually lead to a lot of anxiety and depression. If you have any sort of issues with that, any chemical imbalances, any sort of past issues, don't go near it. And if you're prone to depression or anything, don't go near it, because it's just going to really make it just so much worse. It's going to be bad. Then now we're going to get into like more long-term side effects. These are the ones that just scare the ever-loving crap out of me. I always do this, okay, when I tell you about running something and your decision. Risk versus reward, right? Weigh them out. Are they close? Are they far off? I'm sorry, but when I list these to you, the risk is not worth the reward. You can drop weight, cut in so many other ways with so many other mechanisms, drugs, anabolics. Anabolics aren't fat burners, but there's other methods. They can at least cut you up or rid yourself of a little bit of excess, that you might have. Don't go the clenbuterol route. If you got a lot of weight to lose, don't go this route. Just don't. Think about these side effects: tachycardia, irregular heartbeats, rapid breathing, okay, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. I mean, these are deadly side effects. Not the diarrhea, but it's uncomfortable. And when you're talking about messing with your heart and your blood pressure, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see the worth in that whatsoever. It has cardiac, problems written all over it. That's the last problem that you want. You just don't want to deal with it. And I'm sorry, I just don't see how the reward is there. So, Dylan Gemelli, signing off.
iSARMs.com, the #1 place to learn about SARMs online.